Cliche Your Way Through Life. Remix by Sierra Ward. The Roots. Taking ownership of your life. But be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. James 1:22. Your roots are everything. Like a tree, you need deep roots to stand strong when life gets heavy. And those roots, they are your values, your truth, and your boundaries. The challenge is many of us are living with roots we didn't plant, passed down through family, religion, fear, or survival. But taking ownership means asking yourself, what do I truly believe? What keeps me grounded? What brings me peace? This isn't about controlling life. It's about doing the quiet, personal work of tending to what holds you up. James 1:22 reminds us that it's not enough to just hear the truth. You have to live it. Your roots may not be seen by others, but they will always be felt. They show up when the storms come. They show up when you need to stand tall in your truth. Strong roots won't make life perfect, but they will make you prepared. Think outside the box. Value, courage. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve that God's will is his good, pleasing, and perfect will. Romans 12:2. Thinking outside the box isn't just about creativity. It's about courage. The courage to question what you've been taught. The courage to want more, even when it's unfamiliar. The courage to be different, even if it means being misunderstood. This chapter is about unlearning limitations and challenging the beliefs you've inherited from your environment, family, or fear. Courage is what allows you to step outside of survival mode and begin living on purpose. It's what gives you permission to try something you've never seen done before. It's what helps you stop asking, what will people think? And start asking, what do I want for myself? It takes courage to stop performing, stop conforming, and choose to live differently. And that's the real power of thinking outside the box. The courage to question the box. For many of us, the box isn't something we built. It's something we were born into. The environments we grew up in, the belief passed down to us, and the fears we inherited quietly shaped how we moved, how much we dreamed, and how far we thought we were allowed to go. My mother showed me the first crack in that box. When she made the bold decision to move us from Arkansas to Indiana, I didn't fully understand it then, but looking back, it was an act of courage. She wasn't just moving us, she was breaking a generational limitation. That move planted a seed. It showed me that you don't have to stay stuck where you started. You can move. You can choose differently. You can create something new. Years later, I made my own courageous leap from Indiana to Illinois. It wasn't just a change in location, it was a shift in mindset. I stepped out of what was familiar and into the unknown without a map. And I had to trust that even if I didn't have it all figured out, I had what I needed inside of me. Thinking outside the box starts with the courage to question if the box was ever meant for you in the first place. That move taught me that thinking outside the box isn't just about geography. It's about mindset. It's about realizing the limitation you've accepted as truth may actually just be inherited fears. It's about shedding the beliefs that were placed on you and replacing them with the ones you consciously choose. Thinking outside the box meant refusing to let my past or anyone else's idea of who I should be define what was possible for me. It meant shifting from survival mode to possibility. I had to know I was worth more than just making it. And that truth, that was love. Not the kind of love you earn by doing everything right, but the kind of love God has for you no matter how messy your past has been. That kind of love gave me the courage to stop settling and start living. And maybe that's where it starts for you too. Not with a big leap, but with a small shift, a question, a curiosity, a quiet moment where you ask yourself, what if there's more? What if I'm capable of more than I've been taught to believe? Because once you start asking those questions, once you peek outside the box, you realize the box was never your final home. It was just the beginning of your breakthrough. The courage to break out. Feeling stuck often feels like being trapped inside an invisible box, a draining job, limiting routines, or a mindset you didn't even choose. And maybe you didn't build the box, but you've learned to live inside it. But what if the box was never real? Courage is what helps you stop living by default. It's not about recklessly changing everything. It's about deciding, I don't have to stay here. It's about refusing to let fear, your past, or others people's opinions decide your limits. Courage is the first crack in the wall. That's what thinking outside the box is really about. Not just creativity, but courage. It's about unlearning the limits you've accepted. It's about refusing to let your past, your upbringing, or other people's opinions define your potential. Thinking outside the box taught me that transformation begins the moment you stop asking for permission and start trusting your power. The courage to believe there's more. We hear people say, the sky's the limit, but what if the sky has always felt like a ceiling? When you've never seen anyone living beyond survival mode, it's hard to even imagine what's possible. But courage allows you to believe there's something beyond what you've seen. It helps you challenge the belief that your box is your forever. The biggest limits aren't outside of us. They live inside of us. And courage is what helps you remove the lid. To think outside the box is to question everything you were told you couldn't do and choose to do it anyway. The courage to create without a blueprint. I didn't have a blueprint. I had courage. And sometimes that's enough. Thinking outside the box meant being willing to fail, to evolve, and to walk away from what no longer served me, even when I didn't have a backup plan. Courage taught me that you don't always need permission to want more. You don't always need a map to take the first step. And it's not always about changing your environment. Sometimes it's about changing your mindset where you are. How to begin breaking the box. Here's how you can begin to challenge the limitations and step into greater freedom. 1. Name your box. What's limiting you? Fear, old beliefs, people pleasing? Name it so you can challenge it. 2. Take one brave step. Do something different. It doesn't have to be big, it just has to be yours. 3. Expand your exposure. See new things. Meet new people. The more you see, the more you believe it's possible. 4. Remove the lid. Ask yourself, what's the worst if I try and fail? What's the best if I try and succeed? Then choose courage. Conclusion. The courage was always in you. The box I thought I was trapped in wasn't real. It was built from fears, limitations, and old beliefs I never questioned. And once I found the courage to challenge it, the walls fell away. I didn't need someone to hand me the key. I didn't need anyone to give me permission. I just needed the courage to believe I could step outside and build something different. The sky was never the ceiling. The box was never the limit. And you already have the courage to take the first step. And when you do, trust that you're not walking alone. You were created for more, and more is already reaching for you too. R&R, remix and reflex. Value courage. Before you move on, take a breath. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. You can choose differently. Remix this truth. The box wasn't yours to begin with. It was built from other people's fears. Courage is what hands you the pen to write your own way out. Reflect on this. 1. What box have you been living inside that no longer feels aligned with who you're becoming? 2. What's one belief about yourself, your life, or your future that you're ready to challenge? 3.